What's up out the mud? It's your girl Monica, and in this video we are going to talk about Sundown Towns. And as a real estate broker in the state of Tennessee, what I'm going to do is share with you some of the things that I do personally for my own self. Because as you know, if you're a real estate professional, you can't do anything with regard to race and your clients, okay? So this video in its entirety is going to be educational and informational about my own personal methodologies, right? When it comes to looking for property for my own personal home. So let's get into it. I was in process of trying to sell this property because I got into law school and I was going to sell it, and plus it was expensive and it's a whole bunch of stuff. So I put it on the market, okay? Didn't get any bites, right? Thank God. It's not meant to be. But in that process, I was looking for some place for us to go. So when I am personally searching for properties, specifically rural property, because I don't want to live close to anybody, I apply a certain methodology to my search, okay? This is all for my own personal situation. I have 4 sons, and there is a test that I apply to each property, right? Because my 4 brown boys are going to be coming back and forth to see their mother, and one of them is going to be bringing her grandchildren. So she can't just look at a house and look at the lot and say, oh, okay, it's got water, it's got septic, it's got this, it's got 3 bed. That's not the extent. I personally have to do another layer of research to make sure to minimize the potential of negative outcomes for my 4 brown boys based on the color of their skin. Okay, do I need to repeat that for anybody? Okay, this is what I do for me, right? And so what I did was, when we were looking, I found this community. It was like perfect, right? It had, new construction homes in the 3s. Owner financing was available. Everybody had an acre lot. I was like, oh my gosh, hour and a half away from where we are now. So that was going to be the sacrifice. And so I'm like, okay, so far so good. The initial research checked. Then the second layer of research that I mentioned before got put into play. It was during the second layer of research that I had to eliminate that community from my personal consideration. Why? Because when I went to Google and I did the search of that particular county and city and the racial history, I found in the recent past that the community drove out all the black people. I didn't make this up. This was an article from a primary source that I read, and decided after reading that article, I'm not even worried about it. And when I say recent past, I'm talking 1950s-ish, 1960s. Oh, but that was so long ago. No, it wasn't. It was not, okay? My mother was born in 1951. She is just 4 years old. I can't do the math, but she's still, a young woman, okay? And what that means to me is that in the community now, not everybody leaves, right? So what I have to assume is that some people who are there are the children of the people who decided to run these black folks out. And one thing I know about a racist is that they teach their children to be racist. Some of their children wake up to that being wrong, okay? Some of them don't. Even some of them that wake up to being wrong, it's still hard for them in some cases to realize when it's happening, right? When those things are, when they're slipping back, right? So I'm not going to take the chance that the lady at the Circle K or the man at the tire shop or the chief of police or the city clerk or the high school teachers, I'm not going to take the chance that they have come to Jesus and they are no longer racist. Okay, I could be missing out on an amazing opportunity to live in an amazing community. But because I apply this methodology, my own personal methodology, to my own personal search for property, nothing, and I repeat, no amount of risk is worth it for my babies. Not for my kids. Every parent is different. But for the ones that came up out of me, no sir, no ma'am, okay? And it doesn't even matter for me at this point, and that's something else that has happened since I have been gone. I haven't posted on this channel in a while because I've been working. And 4 months, I made it 4 months in one day working for somebody, and that I'm thankful to God that he provided that job. I worked at Walmart as an automotive service writer, and I cannot wait to do my little series on that because it was a cool experience. But anyway, where was I going with that? And see, oh, I just turned 50. That's another thing. You start losing your train of thought. I just turned 50, and I see what they mean when you turn 50. It started in your 40s where you say what's on your mind and you don't care what people think. I'm saying this not concerned with whether or not you think it's something that is a thing or not. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing this video for your validation of this as a situation that does or doesn't exist. That's not what I'm gonna debate. I'm not gonna debate you on that. I don't need you to confirm or deny what I'm talking about as a situation, right? I'm 50. 50-year-olds say what they want to say. It gets good when you get old, ladies. Anyway, what I'm saying is this methodology I apply period point blank because why? Because these are my babies, okay? And I was finna say some words I shouldn't say. I don't care. Now here's the thing. I am learning to love everyone, even racist people. I am learning to love everyone because I know if I don't love them, that God is not going to be pleased with me. Okay? And again, I don't care how you feel about that. I don't care if you don't share that faith or that belief system or you think it's stupid. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to debate that with you. I know the Lord. And I know that he wants me to love you even if you don't like me because I am black. I know he does. He wants me to love you. But I ain't seen nowhere where he told me I have to live by you. Okay? I ain't seen nothing in there yet about that. So until I see something that says I'm supposed to live by you, then I'm just going to keep on doing my research. So when it comes to you searching for homestead property, you can take on my methodology or not. But this is something that I personally do when searching for. Now, thankfully, I'm not selling. I took the sign out the yard, took it off the market. It's just not the time. And I live in a town that's diverse. I'm in Murfreesboro. There's a university here. And this is something that I would recommend if I was looking for homestead property. Find a property that has a university nearby. Because one thing they do love in university towns is athletes. Okay? And I'm going to leave that where I'm going to leave that. But I'm so glad to be back, y'all. I'll be posting more. That's it on the Sundown Towns. If I think of some more things, then I'll kind of bring it back and we'll talk about it. But yeah, so much to catch up on. I'm looking forward to getting some videos out there and posting. And I need to start baking some bread because your girl missed doing homestead activities. Because when I started working, my husband took over the chicken duties. And the only planting I did was in my little green stalk. And y'all see what that looks like. That's all I did this spring. And I found that I need that. So don't stop doing your homestead activities. And I know how hard it is now, especially if you've got a full-time job. Because all I want to do was come home, take a shower, and have a margarita and get on TikTok. So I understand. I understand in a more unique way now than I ever have. But I'm telling you, however you got to get back to it, to where you can do the things that you're enjoying when it comes to homesteading. And I'm gonna do a whole nother video on, I got so many content ideas as far as like farming, because now the way I started off doing it with the farm number and all that, y'all, I would not do that again. And I'll talk about that. But anyway, let me know what you want to hear about in the comments. I'll talk to you later. Peace.